Well, as an operator, we hope that people like it. I mean, it's just the beginning. Yeah, we are investing heavily in wearables. I have one myself, or at least two, and it's early days. Yeah, it's no this one. Look at the first mobile phones. Yeah, they were good to almost nothing except to communicate voice, and we know what's a smartphone today. And that's a little bit where we are with wearables. Yeah, they are shiny and nicer. And I like the watch of Apple, I have to admit. I would like to have one. It doesn't provide much yet, but it will change our habits over time. So since about 3-4 months, I gave up my alarm clock. No, I have my whatever device. And I think gradually it will change. It will be a huge market. It will be segmented, and we talk not only to consumers, but also in the healthcare industry, whatever, yeah? The sky's the limit. But we strongly believe in wearables. That will be the future, I hope.
I don't want to talk against wearables. I also have, I try out different wearables, and I really like it, and I like to track my sport activity, and I really think it's fun. But I only was disappointed about the Apple Watch because I like more gadgets. But apart from that, I think wearables are really a good thing, and it's more fun value to my life.
I mean, we see, for example, at the Mobile World Congress last year, a lot of all companies with the wearable, backing the telephones. Like the wearable understand as a smartwatch, just backing the telephone. Without the telephone, all of them doesn't work. Until there is no clear value proposition in a product that you don't read your phone anymore, then of course that will be something that the users will appreciate. But if I have to carry my telephone, on top of I have to wear my wearable, that I have problems with the battery nowadays, how much time I can use it and everything, the adoption, the drop rate that we see nowadays is that almost all users after 6 months of wearing a wearable, they drop it.
Yeah. You know, maybe I can ask everyone here, who in the audience is ready for the post-smartphone era? Who wants to get rid of the smartphone? Not so many. You're happy with what you have, right? Just want more of it, a larger screen or whatever. I think that, well, they're happy with what they have. They don't want anything else. Maybe they don't imagine and they don't know. They don't imagine enough.
Okay, but if they don't know, then...
Convince them.
Yeah.
If they don't know, what we don't need is to increase the size of the screen. We really need to think in something new. This is the challenge. I mean, quantify yourself. It has been the big trend to take Fitbit and all the wearables where they are. Quantify yourself is fun for 6 months, because if you don't get your results, you don't want somebody to tell you that you're failing. But if you get your results, you forget, okay? The drop rate is really good, and on top of, they are not beautiful.
I think that in the first, when we got mobile into the payment industry, it was very hard to figure out what kind of a change are we going to see, how would it affect us? And we have, here, even here in Israel, interested that only had payments because of the mobile, for example, taxis, okay? Taxis are always cash-based. And now everybody is using Get Taxi, and they're using credit cards for payments. And look on the parking and parking lots and so on. You have a lot of interest fees without payment, and now they have payment. So it's very hard to imagine the way that wearable device would affect payments, but for us, lucky that Apple Pay integrated the payment into the watch. So it's hard to imagine, but we truly believe that something will come up from that.
I've heard, actually there are a lot of concepts running around what will replace smartphone. I think, I heard something about stickers that you put on the clothings, or actually part of a fabric that will have some display. Did you hear anything
Tap and go stickers.
Yeah, anything that caught your imagination? Huh? Excuse me? Google Glass. What kind of imagination is there?
Good thing, good
It's in the past, no?
Google Glass. Google Glass, a prototype that never has to reach the market. I mean, it's a good idea, it's a starting point, but it's really intrusive. Have you never get a conversation with someone with the Google Glass? You don't even know if the guy is filming to you, and they are broadcasting, live broadcasting your conversation into the net. I mean, there is concepts that is just a starting point. I understand that, yes, technology, it will be wearable. Wearable, it means wearable. It will not be intrusive. I wear glasses. If I have to put something here, and the average consumption of a full user of a Google Glass the calculation is 7 giga per month. These guys will be completely happy that everybody's using a Google Glass, because the data plan that you will use if you are all the day wearing technology, accessing technology, is awesome. Then I understand perfectly, the time is there. As more wearable is the technology, more consumption is data, better data plans, but at the same time, more capex to update the networks. And the business then starts a little bit tricky. Who's going to pay? When the tariff is going down, 4G, 5G, update the networks, really expensive, because every day more people are putting more content, more services in real time. Then the competitive landscape is there. I mean, I'm not an expert at all, but the guys here from the telco, they are facing these ideas. No?
I still have this kind of feeling that we're still in an era which is full of betas. Everything is beta. Everything is just trying to. And what we are here to talk about is what's going to be the real disruption that will kill the smartphone.
Maybe Internet of Things. Every device will be connected. My refrigerator will tell my retailer that I'm out of milk.
But
supply me something.
Are you? Is your refrigerator connected by now?
It's not connected now, but maybe it will be. Hopefully it will be, because I hate going to the grocery.
I know, I feel this is also a beta for now. And would this be the big change? Is it even coming? People are talking about that all the time. I don't know.
I think we have pilot of cars connected. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of more devices connected, but every technology needs to take time. So you don't see it in a year, in 2 years, but think about mobile and the adoption 5 years ago and now, and try to imagine what will meet us in 5 years from now. I think it's very hard to imagine.
Mustafa, actually, I should call you.
I can comment about from the operator perspective. Typical person talks like 300 minutes, and that corresponds to 18 megabytes of data. So all of our Twitter conversation per month is 18 megabytes, and one YouTube video is 18 megabytes. So voice became an application, just an application. With Internet of Things, I think human will become a just application. And that will be the time that operators will hit the data tsunami. And we are approaching that, and everyone is trying to come up with their, renewing their infrastructure, moving to 4G and even to 5G. And that will destroy the traditional business of operators as well as the startups or anyone else. The data tsunami will be the real disruption, and that will be enabled by mobile and connected devices. I agree with that.
But I think what you need next to the big data thing is the behavioral analysis that will bring the notions. And again, it's a thing that everybody's talking about it, but does it actually affect any of our lives now? Do we know about that? Guys, is your life affected by big data and behavioral analysis on a daily basis? Anyone? It does, by the way. Maybe we just not aware. Yes? Sorry? I can't hear you. Can you shout?
Please, microphone.
Oh, there's a mic on the way. There. Second row.
I have the Nike Fuel Band. It affects my life. I have it now for 6 months. I do much more sports. Before I didn't do the same. It's quantified itself. It can tell me how much did I walk today, and it calls me during the day and says, Zohar, go, you must go another 10 kilometers, and it's affecting, yeah.
First, if you've been having it for 6 months, you should throw it away about now, statistically speaking. Yeah. And secondly, I'm not sure if this is still big data. I mean, it was big data if someone was listening or reading that, some machine was reading it and telling you, listen, in the last few months, you have declined, you're walking.
Wait.
You can see what other people are doing, and it gives you some.
And every time I look and compare, I see, wow, I have a huge amount of...
So it tickles the competitive animal within you.
Yeah.
Huh,
So
nice. The dude with the white shirt. You give up? You give up. Okay.
But,
you know what?
But
Yeah,
I mean, the behavior, for example, what you're doing on the internet is already got tracked since I don't know, like over 10 years, even longer. That's how you get advertising. I mean, this is already out in the market, so this is not something new. And I think it's also when it comes to like new technologies, it's not always coming from one day to the others. I mean, who of you remember like the first modems we had, like so it really made terrible sounds, but we were so proud when we could access the internet. And now it's like we have our mobile phones and can use it everywhere. So we have these great connections, but it's going step by step. So like it's not like a big bang, I believe. And I think what we have to see is like, what is the user really doing, what's the user behavior, so that we can make and create services they like, and we always have to work with them so to develop, but it's like working step by step. It's like, I don't believe in a big bang, because it's technology is fun and fast, but like you have to adapt with the user and you have to do it step by step.
I'm still trying to cling on to the topic of the discussion, and I think there is something inherent in disruption. Has to be swift. It has to be quick. If it's not quick, it's not a disruption. It's an evolution, if you like. And you know what? It reminds me also of what we just talked about, big data and stuff, of Google Now, which was like the thing of behavioral analysis about a year ago. Guys, do you use Google Now? Does it run your life? Does it tell you what to do? Yeah? No? Raise your hands, please, who's using Google Now, like on a daily basis? Wow, I'd say 10%, 15% tops. Not that much. Maybe it's not good enough. Do you feel that Google Now has created a trend towards analyzing our behavior, or not really? You're not using it.
I'm not a user of Google Now. I try
really?
it. Sure. I think it's a first step to understand the small big data, the personal big data. When you put analytics on top of, how they can help you in your daily work. About the concept of big data, you ask people if they are in some ways affected by big data.
If they are aware that they're affected.
If they are aware. This is where I go. Okay? For example, we have a startup in Barcelona that is really cool. Okay? If we have the data of the telco operators, in Barcelona we have now a lot of cruiser ships arriving to Barcelona. Okay? Cruiser ships like big ones. Like it's an entire hotel or entire cities arriving to Barcelona. What people do, they turn on the telephones, they get on the network, but you can know if the guy is coming from Russia, from America, and if you track also the payments that the guys are doing with a credit card, you have an amazing big data as an event that is the cruiser ship arriving to the city and how they are going around the city. And there is one really interesting thing. American guys likes diamonds. Russian likes white gold. Do you know why this is important? Because when they go to Passeig de Gracia, where are the expensive jewelries, depends if the cruiser ship is coming with American guys or with Russian guys, they are able to change in the windows of the jewelry the type of products that they like. Is this tourist aware that they has been under big data? Of course not. They are just hanging around taking pictures. But when they arrive, the product that they want is there. This is, I think, Google Now and this initiative that is under layer. It's seamless. And when technology is seamless, is when it's powerful. Because it's when people adapt it. It's when something that comes to you. It's like Wi-Fi. It's everywhere. No? When you have to go to LAN connection, it's not so easy. No? And I like the concept of we even don't know that we already are in big data.
You know what question comes next, right? What are Israeli tourists looking for? You have to tell me. Just come and eat.
I mean, this is really better than my Amazon account, because I always get recommendations and I really don't know what they want to sell me. So, but it's quite scary. Like, I mean, when I would go there and everything is popping up to my needs and my behavior, then I would think, like, why do they know that? And maybe I didn't give my permission that they're allowed to use my data, and it's really, this is something I believe it will get more and more important. It's privacy, and to make it transparent which data get used, and like which attributes you allow the merchant or whoever to use. So because then when I have the choice, then I feel safer, and I believe that privacy is really like the new thing.
You know what? I'm sorry, just a second. You've been mentioning privacy for quite some time, and I think it definitely something that we all care about. And in the last few months, people, I think, understand even more how much they care, how much they're unsafe. Specifically, if you're an American model or an actress who looks really good. Okay. Do you feel that there is disruption in this area that will change the way we feel, the way we protect ourselves, or whatever new measure that's going to come in a few months' time, someone's going to hack it and I'll just need another thing?
Well, I definitely believe there will be a lot more services where you can really choose which data you want to share, and also how to make it more secure. I mean, we believe that Mobile Connect as mobile authentication is better, and there we want to make it also transparent, which information you can share. So you can say, okay, I will give my name or my email address and share it with the store I want to be accessed with my mobile number. So I think this is getting more and more important. And I also spoke with startups last week in San Francisco, and they said they really believe that privacy and make it really transparent, even for messaging and location-based service, that's the thing, because otherwise the user will not use it. Like, people are more afraid about Facebook, they're suing Facebook because of privacy. And I believe, before everyone said content is king, but I believe privacy is the new queen.
Wasn't fingerprint supposed to be the disrupt of like a year ago and that's it? Fingerprint. I have it on my Apple.
But you had this fingerprint thing on your laptop already, I don't know, 10 years ago?
Yeah, actually, it's 10 years ago. It's old, it's dead.
I don't know how many people use it. I don't know. Maybe someone else has used it. Maybe I'm too old for fingerprints. Who's using fingerprint as authentication?
One person. I mean, okay. Also on iPhones, nobody used that? 2, 3. The fuel girl. Okay. Yes, Wolfgang.
Yeah, regarding privacy, we have a saying, if it doesn't cost anything, it's quite likely you are the product. And I have to agree, we see age groups, we clustered them, who are very much concerned, and then there are some who are really not concerned, or not that much. So, so far we see traction on the consumer side. On the enterprise side, it's a complete different story. That's why we are here very much and looking into cybersecurity. That is here the country where we find most of the innovation, which spills over into consumers as well. We need to, of course, find our strategy as operators. It was just quoted that our business model is drying up. That is to a certain degree true, but there's also no free lunch. Yeah? So the likelihood that the next generation of fiber, like 4G and 5G, the tariffs will go down and down and down, that won't happen, because somebody has to pay for it at the end of the day. And you can also already see globally traction where most operators are either stabilizing the prices, or you see countries where prices are actually going up. You know? That's quite normal. But coming back to the point of security, it is more and more topic, also among consumers. We try to find partners globally for it. We are partnering with Disconnect, as a company from San Francisco, that allows you to browse and to surf the web more safely. So all cookies are being filtered out, you're being told what's happening in the background, there's check and balance, and these kind of solutions are taking more and more traction, and we try to cater to it.
Did you find in Israel any security technology that blew your mind? Did you find in Israel any kind of security technology? You said you were looking for it, right? Anything that blew your mind off, that you said, wow?